And just in case you'd forgotten, this is The Tomorrow People. And this is this part 4?
4, yeah.
Yes,
This is the 4th episode and final.
Part 4 of 4. Little recap here.
Yes. But as you all got DVD, you can actually skip this bit quite quickly.
Probably looks quite good speeded up, doesn't it?
Cripes! Look at the picture!
Let's get it out of here.
I'll give you a hand. Leave it alone.
Glad I'm seeing this again, actually. This is a classic.
Hey, watch it, John.
John, stop it! Chris, stop it!
Yes, don't pick on me.
Non-violence. You're right, kid.
I have a name, Christopher.
Looks like I've had a very unpleasant curry, doesn't it?
How was using telekinesis approaching about the lamb?
I like that heavy breathing you're doing. It's very good.
Oh, yes.
You must have trained for hours.
No, I think that was a pretty good scream,
It's
really.
not a bad scream.
It's good. Worked out whose hand it is yet?
No.
I no doubt an expert could look at our hands and recognise, in fact, if we freeze frame and hold our hands up to the screen, we can, it's mine, look. There we are, look at that.
Yeah, definitely yours.
Yes, well, I did say we had a few goes at it.
Yeah.
It did rather sound like the end of Edward II when we originally shot it. If you know what happened to Edward II.
Oh,
the
there's
red
a
hot
poker
poker at the bottom,
incident,
yes. That was rather the reaction.
Cuckoo in the Nest.
They've started naming the episodes, didn't they, in this series, which they hadn't done previously.
Well, it probably required 5 minutes thought to think of a title, you see. Yeah, Cuckoo in the Nest is a good title.
However he went and wherever.
Oh, I'm in charge now. Let's leave him up there.
We must go after him.
No.
We might be able to do that if we knew where he was.
You see, you are being John now, aren't
I
you?
am being John. It was a short-lived experience, which I relished.
Normally you just say, Tim, give me the coordinates, don't you?
Yeah. I know you're in prison, aren't you, underneath the shop?
I can't hear you.
Having just used a mattress transporter.
A van, in other
Here he
words.
comes.
It's probably that Bedford van that just moved off inexplicably earlier. Do you think that, sometimes because there's several main characters, that the writer would sort of think, well, if we lock someone up for a while, that will help with the dialogue distribution?
Well, the programme got worse in that respect, because it was never, as I explained before, it was never written for 70 episodes. And they kept bringing in new Tomorrow People, and it became really problematic after a while. There just were too many, as you say, too many characters. At this stage, I don't think it was too much of a problem. In fact, if you think about it, they brought Elizabeth in to replace 2 people.
Yeah.
So it was actually easier.
I think it was a mistake to go up to 5. I think.
But it went way beyond 5, didn't it, at one point? Oh, yeah.
I suppose it did, actually.
And it's much less effective. But the whole concept was that every child eventually would become Homo superior. So, in theory, by the time you'd finished even 35 episodes, there should have been thousands of us. But there weren't. And that, of course, was never really satisfactorily explained. But the answer to it is that nobody expected it to go on for so long.
At the end of the day, it is just a TV program, Nick. It's not real.
How dare you point that out?
It's a puppet.
Might not be real to you.
I have no definite conclusions at this stage, only theories.
Well,
Stephen will tell you that I hate to commit.
No, I think it was well lit, good choice of colours, everything looks very pretty. I mean, it really stands out well, this.
Very well.
There's a very rich quality to it. It's a shame
It's a very good quality, the tape we're watching.
Yeah, it's a shame the telecine definitely lets it down when you cut to film. It
No,
just
the grain.
looks bloody awful. Shot on 16mm, and not even Super 16 in those days.
No, and with very old cameras, I expect.
Probably.
Once born onto a planet, they would never be able to get off it again.
But that wasn't just the Tomorrow People. All television was done like that in those days.
Oh, she's got a bit of a glint up her nose. I noticed a bit of a glare, bit of
we-
snot dribbling
I think-
doing down
I think we made that comment at the time,
there.
didn't we?
Yes, just blow your nose, Liz.
We were more immature in those days. We used to enjoy smutty jokes, which of course we don't enjoy now, do we, Peter?
like birds leaving their nests, or like cuckoos,
That is ingenious.
but ridiculous.
Not bad for a woman.
Oh, where
think
am
is
I
what
off
he was
to?
saying.
Tooled up.
Oh, look.
Yes, you like your gun here. You
looking
do a
like-
bit of
yes.
little gun.
Oh, look at that.
Look, he's done it twice.
Yeah.
He enjoyed it so much the
Well,
first
you've
time.
got to. I mean, at 14 years old to put on a shoulder holster with a stun gun.
You're feeling lucky, punk.
There must have been a little hidden light under there to illuminate.
Yes, the lighting on this is very good, actually.
Of course, that's always funny in a TV program when you've got a set. You go down a couple of steps and then they cut to below as if you're coming from up above.
you go round the
because
corner.
they're two completely separate sets. Now, that's interesting, you having that power, because that was a power they gave to Mike Holloway when he joined the series later on, of being able to unlock doors.
Well, they gave him my part. They might as well give him the powers as well.
Yes, of course. I'm sorry, of course, you're right there, yes. But it was referred to as being a unique feature of whatever character, Mike Bell.
Oh, Mike Bell's.
That he
Go
could-
to open saves and
That
things.
he was
wasn't it?
basically a safecracker.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, he was a safecracker.
John, it's me, Stephen.
Get out of here.
Get out of here, Stephen.
Yeah, I thought that.
Why don't you tell us where you were? Why don't you jaunt out of here?
I can't. Something down here prevents us from using our special powers.
Called a force field.
Oh, I remember this. It's the dustbin scene. Bloody dangerous, actually. They were throwing dustbin lids at me when I ran out.
You were panned by the critics for the first time.
A load of rubbish.
Is there a key to this door somewhere?
Oh, here
There we
he
go. There
comes,
goes.
here
There's
he
the Thames cat being screwed again.
If we can't use our special powers,
Sounds like you've got a mobile.
comes. It won't work down here. If your powers don't work.
Stephen, I know you're down here.
Overdone the bleach on his jeans. Look.
Doesn't work on me.
He's now
Neither
got,
will your rather
he's now got a sort of alien jacket on. I don't know
I
where he
think
got
that,
that.
I mean, that really is good. They've done a negative and then superimposed it on a positive picture. It's good.
Well, this is it.
How come you were able to run out? Why did he let you run out?
Because he's got he's going to start lobbing dustbins at me.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. Yeah.
Yes,
I got whacked in all over the place with these things.
Yes.
Horrible.
The critics give their opinion on Peter's performance.
Well, the cat. You can hear that cat again.
It is, yes, it is.
Where was the dustbin lids? I was convinced they were
I
dustbin
don't remember
lids.
the dustbin lids.
I certainly heard them.
Couldn't jaunt, I couldn't do anything. There was nothing I could do, I was completely helpless.
All completely hopeless.
Oh, I didn't lose my gun, no.
He was locked up too, and he couldn't use any of his special powers
Put your
either.
hands down, mate. Not good acting.
visit with some friends of mine.
Come on, mate. Sort them out, Chris.
And they're non-violent, and they let him go around there to.
Yeah, that's right. He can do our dirty work. That's perfectly okay.
What was his name, actually, in the program?
character did he play? I don't know.
Was it Chris?
Chris.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
Chris,
Chris.
wasn't it?
Which-
So-
well, everybody,
Gingy's younger brother.
everybody had their own name because he was Chris. His name was Chris.
Chris,
Patel.
yeah.
Everybody had their own name because nobody could remember what your name was.
Now, this
Elizabeth
guy
was-
behind him looks a bit like Mike Holloway, but we can't actually see him.
If you want to nick things, you nick them after we got them out, right?
Yeah. That Holloway hairdo.
It's quite
See, that's
interesting.
Sorry, Jose, he says if you want to nick them afterwards. There was always an anarchic strain in the writing, in Roger's writing, anti-authority, anti-establishment attitude. That it was okay to nick things but do it afterwards.
The whole thieving thing gets out of hand actually down here. This guy is a kleptomaniac.
You take anything for it?
And then they all start having a pop at each other on this.
John,
Can't even use a cell phone down there.
we got to get out of here. Hang on a minute.
There they go.
Light-fingered Fred.
We said no nicking till we got him out of here. Now put that thing down and give us a hand.
He can't help it.
Can't help himself, can he? He obviously likes that.
I like badges.
Put that down and give us a hand. What is this?
Oh, here we go.
Come on. Don't you worry, there was some each other.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
What's going on down there? Robert? Call the police!
If he's the grandfather, is Bob your uncle?
I thought it was nicking badges. There's loads of more stuff up in the shop instead of a load of badges.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. Well, I just realised then it's not that they're thieves, that they are stealing the yellow and green badges, isn't it?
Ah.
Can't you use just a bit of your special power to open this door?
No, Chris, you go. Get out of here while you can.
Be noble to the end.
Yeah.
This is rather funny, this.
Hand up, I should. Ah. Well, wait while I reload.
That's a nice touch.
It is a nice touch, but is it right to have that sort of humour in the middle of a drama?
Well,
That's what I meant.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think that's a very valid
It's
point.
what I would call a slight piss take, which the programme often did, and I felt it was not quite right. I mean, I love humour, but in context, or in a scene where it's not going to spoil the drama.
So well until those fools went berserk. I don't know what came over them. One minute everything was going
Why do you
fine,
think
the next
that,
minute all hell broke
was that? Did Roger Price have that sort of sense of humour? Or?
Roger always liked to have a laugh, that's for sure. I mean, yes, I think he did have quite a strong sense of humour. It wasn't necessarily the same as ours.
Yeah, there was a Man for Emily. That was the.
Well, that was a disaster.
That was a disaster.
But I think with all gagging, you have to know when it's okay to gag and when to stop. And it's true for an actor on set. You have to realise when a serious point has come, and you've got to stop fooling about because time is money.
No.
Well, it can't stay up there forever, Robert.
I think you'd be wise if you left it where it was for the moment.
Oh, well.
If it means that much to you all.
Elvis. There's Elvis. Elvis Payne was the black guy.
Now, where are we here?
Who's that?
That's you, isn't it?
No, that's.
Oh, that's Jason. Jason Kemp. The alien.
Stephen, do calm down.
Pacing up and down won't solve anything.
Yes, but that's what John does. And as I'm John now, I want his desk.
I don't remember John ever pacing.
No, he came early and stopped me from taking the picture down. I think the boys
Came
would kill
early.
me if I tried.
That's his problem.
He's got them under his power, all right, but no, he's not.
Something you notice when the story gets to this stage is that,
Me hasn't.
and I think it's the thing generally of television then, that the storytelling pace is much more sedate, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yes, sometimes there's snappy cuts and sometimes they're slow. I mean, you could re-edit this now and make it much pacier. Yeah, I mean, this sort of thing, you don't need 30 seconds of this. It's just somebody walking along to make a point.
I remember that Jeep.
But then British television can be a bit like that. You compare it with American TV action shows as a new cut every 8 seconds, so you don't get bored even if very little is happening. But that costs money. So the pace of English things tends to be slower. Australian stuff at this time was dreadfully slow. They used to do one setup. They've now got very good at what they do, but in those days they were far worse.
If you don't let him go, I'm going to break every bone in your body. Fool!
Hit him with a book. For a hard man, he's useless, isn't he?
Oh, the
Just
lovely,
an opinion, really. I
lovely
suppose.
Austin Allegro. The police used. They were called Austin All Aggros at the time because they were such crap as cars. And even-
Oh,
of course,
I've got a
Austin,
man attacking me, officer.
yeah. And no seatbelt, you notice?
Yeah.
He can go off road, and the Austin can't.
It's not even Chris driving. That's you driving, isn't it? Did you drive that Jeep?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
You didn't say anything there.
No.
Police are after me.
Why, Chris?
I think as all fans will notice that door control changes all the time. Just having seen a few episodes
Oh, really?
recently, it's a different doorknob every time.
Well, we are constantly improving the range, you know. The lab itself is never the same twice. That's not continuity, that's improvement.
Hey, look at this.
Ah, this is where it's explained.
Volume 4 of The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire.
What was that, Stephen?
Oh, it's just a book that Robert dropped in. The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire by Edward Gibbon.
Have you ever read it, Stephen?
Oh, I remember that if I'm on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
It's rather long, you know. It is
Edward
6
Gibbon.
volumes.
Yes, I do know. But in the light of what's been happening, it is very interesting.
Very educational for the kid, it says.
Why, how do you mean, Tim?
It seems that the Roman Empire, or what was left of it, suffered a similar senseless spate of violence in the 6th century. People split into 2 warring factions, which Gibbon says invaded the peace of families, divided friends and brothers. There was a lot of crime and killing, and the warring factions almost destroyed civilization. As the Dark Ages followed on shortly afterwards, perhaps they were partly responsible for doing just that.
But why?
There was no reason behind it. If people had an allegiance to one color, they hated people of the opposite color, hated them enough to kill them. And the colors were blue and green.
Well, well, well.
See that clearly the inspiration for the whole story.
Yeah.
Quite right.
So he nicked it off a Gibbon.
I don't like sitting here.
That's your usual place, isn't it, Howard?
Yeah, I know, but can I move?
Why?
There's a smell.
What smell? There's no smell there, Howard.
There is. The smell of blue. You know, like rotten cheese.
You stink yourself, Howard. You and your putrid green friends.
You stinking rotten...
Oh, hey.
Yeah, it's all kicked
As
off
there's
again.
Pauline Quirk, she's enjoying it. Look at that. Yes.
Stephen, things are getting rough at school. Come quickly.
Right away.
Oh, yes, I'm going to sort it out. I'm just going to brush my hair first, love. Be there in a trice.
I think you were after my job, actually.
I was, wasn't I? I was doing all kind of...
I think you were being groomed here to take over from me.
Didn't work out like that, though, did it?
No.
Oh, look, here we are with the cane. Look at him.
Oh, yes.
Just whacking everything
Whack 'em.
inside.
Is that Debbie, what's her name, who lived next to you on the right there?
Debbie Warris?
Yeah, is it?
No.
Oh, look at that. Bit of violence towards children. Do you realise you could go to prison for that nowadays?
Leave you, Grandfather. You will tell the police I have disappeared. Do you understand, Grandfather? Tell the police I have disappeared.
Yes, Robert. I will tell the police.
He doesn't appear to notice that his grandson has gone very negative.
That's right, yes.
He doesn't appear to notice that he isn't actually his grandson either. So.
Oh, here comes hard man Chattel to go running off to actually run away again.
What's he grabbing there?
He's...
Oh, his helmet.
Oh, helmet.
Now was that there before? Don't remember that.
Well,
Spider.
it was,
Oh.
yes, because Stephen tried to open it at one point.
Got to know whether you and your kind are a threat to us.
It's interesting that the thing we were saying about the comedy with the character of the grandfather.
You will find my poor lost grandson, won't you, Robert?
The comedies,
Such a delicate boy.
you could say, undermined the potential for it being quite sad when his cuckoo grandson is leaving.
Well, I mean, as I say, I love the characterisation, but and Nigel's a very fine actor, but I wonder whether it was appropriate in the dramatic context.
And this policeman just wanders around all day, waiting to see whether that jeep's going to turn up.
And saying not a word.
Oh, the old British rail train. Chiswick again.
Is it?
Yes.
So I was trying to work out why they were why he wears that hat, but so that the stunt driver.
No, it's not Chiswick, is it? It's Kingston.
No, I don't think it's Chiswick at all.
No,
I think it
they
was
don't
near...
got pylons.
It's the sort of music they used to use in the Sweeney, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll get bogged down.
Yeah. Well, it's front-wheel drive, you see. Look, there you go. See? It's getting...
This is all quite good stuff, isn't it? This?
Wouldn't get out there,
Probably
it's too
going to
muddy.
show his frustration by throwing his hat down. There you go.
And then he bunked off. Well, a lot of the kids do. I haven't seen him since, but he's hardly been
But
gone.
the interesting thing here is that this policeman
May have gone to the cinema.
has never seen Chris before,
As for him being a delicate-
but because he's in trouble with the police, he immediately
Yeah.
recognises him.
Gold copper.
Amazingly good at shorthand too. Now you see that was the school. We were asking earlier on where that was. It is the back of the school, isn't it?
Looks like it. Well, it could be
Now,
anywhere,
you
really.
say he's just-
It's a
he's
block of
just-
flats.
And as you say, he's just put his helmet on, you see, so that the stunt driver can
there we
take
go.
over.
Right.
Oh, it's a rover this
It's a
time.
rover. Really getting up there with the old
Yeah.
police
Here we
chasers
go.
in this.
Here we go. I like this move here. Then. And again, we've got the Sweeney music really kicking in here.
I think this is more exciting than the Sweeney. Much better cars and better shot. Sweeney always looked like it was shot on 8mm as well.
Needlessly swerving.
Yes, exactly, Tim. I was just thinking that, exactly that.
That's the most amazing thing. I haven't seen any cars parked or anything. And this is, what, 74, 73, 74?
Yeah, there weren't so many people around in those days.
And most of them are tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh,
Now, why is he stopping?
because he's going to crash. He's gone over the edge.
But miraculously, there was a bit of reflector board light on there, wasn't there?
Yeah. Only been wearing his seatbelt, you see.
He would have just broken his neck.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we'll just go down and breathalyse him. Excuse me, sir, put your mouth around this. I must warn you that anything you say will be taken down and used in evidence against you. No, he's not going to say it because it'll cost 50 quid.
I thought you were going to say trousers.
That's a very old gag. I don't think I'd stink that low.
I'll make a run for it.
Chris with Robert's disappearance is one thing. Proving that he is responsible is quite another.
No, but they'll still get him for something, though. For assault, dangerous driving, evading arrest. There's always something they can cook up.
Oh dear.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, anti-establishment.
Guilty of all those things.
Only
Tim
because
talking
he was
balls
trying to
again.
help us.
He can't tell the police that, though.
So we must help him.
Yes, and John.
Jailbreak.
Got to overcome that, Robert. Well, whoever and whatever.
It's a very nice gesture you did then, Peter.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The old waving the hand.
And that's a good one,
Yes.
that's a
Oh
good
my
one.
life.
Hard to believe that Robert or anyone else can keep John locked up in the cellar of a junk shop and that we'd be unable to rescue him.
The law. Come here.
Oh no, we have some great police cameos coming up.
I'm coming. Ah, I'll be with you.
The inference presumably being that that's stolen goods who's hiding there.
No.
Somebody at the door. That's such a marvellous line.
Does this policeman actually ever say anything?
The inspector does.
I know why I let you talk me into this, Christopher Harding.
Because in the first place, the book tells it a search for a missing kid is in his own home, right?
Are you gentlemen come about my Robert?
Yes. I'm afraid we are going to have to search your shop. That is, if you don't mind.
But I don't see the point of it, officer. You should be out there looking for my poor lost grandson, not coming in here and tramping all over the place and treating an old man like
Well, we are looking for your grandson, sir. That is why we are searching.
Yes, it doesn't cast well in the retrospect.
Well, again, you see, the policeman is taking the Michael, isn't he?
Routine.
I mean, very funny and all that if we were doing a light comedy, but we're not.
The shop, why?
It's down there. Shall I lead the way?
Here, you lead the way. It's down there.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much, Harding. I'm in charge of this investigation, if you don't mind. Thank you.
What a camp
She was he trying to speak German then? I'm in charge of this investigation.
A lisping copper.
Routine would be that side.
He gets the stolen property out again.
Hide the stolen property.
Just in case anyone didn't get
Missed
it.
the point, yes.
Put a hat on it.
All right, Harding, you have had your little laugh. We will now proceed in an orderly manner to the station where we will throw the book at you.
But it was here. I swear it was here. And John, this friend of mine with the special powers, he was locked up in a dungeon.
Not wise to tell a policeman
It's
that.
not really, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've got the special powers here, sir.
By trying out the old Tweety Bird act on a trick cyclist, you have got another think coming.
But it was here! John! John!
If I was to kiss you, Harding, would you turn into a beautiful princess and tell me that a wicked witch had put a spell upon you? Come on, lad. I've heard enough fairy stories for one day.
Oh, they've walled him up.
Well, it's quite an easy wall to get through, Chris.
John, you're a brick.
So it's the fourth episode. There's 5.
It's 5. I didn't want to tell you that before. I thought I'd leave you in blissful. That will require an edit, I imagine.
Oh, yes. Oh, sorry. Yes, we're still recording, aren't we?
You'll note the subtle change in the billing when Elizabeth came along.
Yeah, she went first, didn't she?
They gave her top billing.
Yes, what was all that about?
Well, I think they were being deliberately
Nasty to you.
Nasty, yeah.
No, it's ladies first, obviously.
Yes, that wouldn't be allowed nowadays.
No.
But the compromise was top billing for John in the TV Times thereafter, and top billing for Elizabeth on the programme.